Good morning, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon if you're coming at us from Europe. We are here today to be talking about our XRM Wednesday. This is our 204th event. And today we're going to be hearing from Glenda Giles, aka Genius. And she's going to be talking about empowerment with financial literacy. Next slide, please. As always, we want to thank all of our sponsors and partners. There are many of them. All of these events, all 204 of these events, do not happen alone. We have a lot of help. And so we just want to give a huge thank you to everybody that's given their time, their resources, their technologies to help this amazing community come together every week. Next slide, please. All right, so before we begin, just some basic housekeeping. So, we are recording. We do put this on YouTube so that members who cannot make it to these meetings can access all of the super valuable information after the fact. Avatar etiquette, respect the presenter, respect your audience, try and control your avatar presence. If we see something that looks like it's going wrong, we're not going to fault you for it, but to the best of your ability, try and mute when you're not speaking. And respect everybody else's opinions in this space. As well, just like people have been doing before, make sure we're connecting with everybody. Let's make the future better for all of our technology. We would like to welcome all of our new XR Women members. We've got a lot of new USA members this time. I've got a feeling it's all of our members that are preparing for this weekend's Thrive in 2025 symposium. Next slide, please. And with our Thrive in 2025 symposium, which is happening in Sarasota this weekend from Friday to Sunday at Ringling College, we still have some tickets available. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, but we've got some workshops, we've got an industry forum, we've got a field trip. It's going to be a wonderful time. It's also going to be warm. I heard from somebody in our Slack chat that it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful time down there. For our symposium, we've got all of our amazing workshop speakers and panelists. We've got some people from all over Florida and all over North America coming and to talk about us for some of the various things that we at XR Women love to do. We would love to thank our symposium sponsors. We've got State College of Florida, Ringling College of Art Design, Kronos Group, and also some of our smaller sponsors. And I'd also like to give a huge thank you to some of the students that I've been working with personally over the past month or so on some new design assets for Thrive in 2025. I'd like to thank Yushwen Linda He and Nick Whittle for all of the awesome work they've done to help me with branding, to help us with some printables and design works. So, thank you to Ringling College for having these awesome students, and thanks to Linda and Nick. Like I was saying before, you are being recorded because we have an XR Women channel with all of our videos recorded for you to see and to keep learning after the fact if you can't make it on some of these Wednesdays, or if you want to know more, or go back and check on what people like Akila or Jennifer or Jackie had been saying in their presentation before. So go ahead, subscribe to our YouTube, tell other people about it, find a favorite video and like it. And that'll really help us get out to more people. We'd also like to share, as always, our lovely XR Women member, Sarah Barker, who has a Research Central Library. Sarah, do you want to talk about that for a second?
Thank you, Jenna, and thanks so much. Sure, hi everybody, I'm Sarah B, and I'm actually kind of renovating it right now, but there is a Research Central in Frame VR. I'm there every Thursday at 12 o'clock Pacific time till 1 Pacific time. Feel free to come in if you have any questions or are looking for ways to attach your projects to research pertaining to psychological kind of, the psychology around all of this. Thanks.
Thanks, Sarah. And I will say, I've been in there as well, and I love it. It's always a really fun time. Sometimes even when Sarah's not there, I always go in and have a good conversation. So we've also got our merch. We have a spread shop. The link is right there, and we'll also be dropping it in the Slack. Our spread shop has all of our XRM and basic branded merch. We've got some of our specialty branded merch from that contest we did last year. And we've got some Thrive in 2025 symposium merch. The merch is for men, women, and dogs. So go ahead and support us, grab your merch, and that's what we got. For this next set of slides, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Julie Smithson, who's going to talk to us about community.
Thanks, Jenna. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to XR Women. This is my word of the day, is community, tied with empathy. And I think now more than ever, just with certain situations in this world and dealing with how to find strength in your days. And I know, for one, XR Women channels a huge amount of strength towards me to be strong, to be confident, to focus on what I can channel my energy into. And I think that's something that we all need these days. Find your people, and of course you're here, so you found community already. But I think it's just about having that connection with people, having that teamwork and support, and having that group of people around you that builds empathy. And empathy then leads to compassion and connection, which leads to humanity. And I'll just leave it there, because I think that this slide kind of says enough. Thanks, Karen. If you can go to the next slide, I thought I'd share. I'm going to share 3 things. This is our new slide, Time to Thrive in AI. I'll share these. There's actually 3 things, and one of them came up very quickly this morning, so I didn't have a chance to update the slide. The first one is about how AI is now offering huge promise on breast cancer screening, and the study was actually done in Sweden recently, and the research actually resulted in the fact that AI detection could be done with an AI prompt and a researcher together. So this will now speed up the conclusions of any testing, and of course diagnosing anybody earlier. So this is a positive AI advancement that obviously pertains to women. So I thought I'd share that one. The other one that I thought I'd share, there's a video that came out, and it's with Lex Friedman and Mark Andreessen, and the video itself is actually really interesting, because it's about who will win the AI race and the $1 trillion questions. And the questions that they go through, it's quite intense, but it's everything from AI leadership, global power, from open models to closed models, what's morality and AI is building on. So a little bit of learning homework for you. I'll drop the link. And it goes on to other videos too, about how Mark evaluates even universities and the future of universities and things like that. So I thought I'd share that with you. The last piece of AI that I think I want to share with you that happened to me this morning, I work off a Mac computer, and I opened my computer this morning, and it said, it asked me to prompt my login. And usually when I do that, it means there's an update. I open the update, and it happens to be a legacy update that Apple pushed this morning. And then once I got in there, gave me a brand new blue screen that says, "Welcome to Mac," and showed me their new AI creative playground. And the playground allows you to do image generation based off of your personal photos and cartoon photos that they provide you with. So you can, I could mix a picture of myself with a party hat at the beach, and the image will pop up and be curated from an image from my personal photo deck. So I just wanted to share that with you if you have a Mac and you rolled into that. But I also see this as a huge move by Apple because obviously, you know, if I opened it up, so did my daughters, so did everybody else. And now they have access to this image generation program that's prompted right when you enter. So just a bit of share there, and time to thrive with AI. Over to you, Jenna.
Well, that's exciting. I haven't actually opened up my my Mac laptop, and now I'm going to do that right after this meeting. Yeah, we live in an exciting time. We live in a very exciting time, just to see all this technology advancing so fast. Moving on, do you need a student to help you at your event, or student volunteers? We have an XR Women student chapter at Ringling College of Art and Design. These students have shown their chops. They've done excellent work with us and with other XR Women groups and companies at events like AWE. If you need volunteers to help run your booth or to help run your event, they're super experienced, and they're just technically advanced, socially advanced. They're great to have at your booth. And if you're interested in maybe bringing some of them on, let us know, or maybe talk to the Ringling student chapter. I know that you will not be let down. All right, this is an important announcement also. It came in this morning about the Metaverse Standards Forum. The Metaverse Standards Forum is currently looking for their new board of directors, new members for their board of directors. Currently, the board is 15% women. And we at XR Women, I don't think we like that. That's 3 members out of 19 members. If you would like to nominate yourself or another member, the nominations close on February 10th, 2025. That is not tomorrow, that's February 10th. So if a principal member is a $50 membership to get into the Metaverse Standard Forum. But what we do know is that there are definitely not enough women on the board of directors. We know that diversity leads into better innovation. So let's help the Metaverse Standards Forum improve and help their bottom line by bringing more women on there. Next Wednesday, February 12th, we're going to be going on a really exciting History Month World Hop featuring the lovely artist Shay Arts. We're going to be hosting it in our XR Women Horizon Worlds. We've done similar World Hops before. Shay is a fantastic host and an amazing artist, and I'm super excited for our World Hop next week. All right, next slide, please. All right, and with all that said, I am super excited to bring up to the stage Paige, who is going to announce, or who's going to introduce Glenda for us.
Excellent. Come and join me up on the stage. Thank you, Jenna. Oh, wonderful. Welcome, everyone, to this special XR Women event. As we step into Black History Month, it's important to recognize that true equity isn't just about representation, it's about access, empowerment, and financial freedom. There can be no real equity without financial equity, and today's guest is someone who is actively shaping that future in the metaverse. Glenda Giles is a powerhouse of innovation, blending over 20 years of expertise in AI tools, business analysis, financial coaching, and creative storytelling. As the founder of Barra Financial Services in Horizon Worlds, she is redefining financial literacy in the metaverse, offering coaching and resources and platforms like Banter that help individuals and businesses take control of their financial futures. And yes, this year, I am literally getting my taxes done in the metaverse, thanks to GDOs. But Glenda's impact doesn't stop at finance. She is a trailblazer in AI consulting, specializing in AI prompt engineering, ChatGPT applications, and AI cloning, helping businesses integrate cutting-edge technology into their operations. As a filmmaker and storytelling in the metaverse, she pushes creative boundaries to craft immersive, educational, and transformative experiences. Glenda embodies what it means to be a leader in XR, blending technical expertise with a deep passion for empowering others, creating access, and ensuring financial independence is part of the future of immersive technology. Whether she's guiding financial journeys, developing AI-driven strategies, or crafting virtual narratives, she is a force of knowledge and inspiration. This Black History Month isn't complete without celebrating and uplifting the leaders who are not only making history, but are actively shaping the future. Please join me in welcoming the incredible Glenda Giles.
Oh, thank you, Paige. Thank you. That was wonderful. Wow. Oh gosh.
Oh, my pleasure. My true pleasure. You've
Thank
been in
you.
VR since the oldest days. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
what? Not trying to share that. We're trying to share our presentation here. Let's go back to web links, Canva. Oh, one moment. Here we go. Thank you.
Ah, there we are.
This is not right. I'm sorry. This is going to be the better presentation link. I'm sorry, everybody. I kept two links in here, and that was a mistake. Okay, this is the
Okay.
better. All right,
Awesome.
thank you.
Well, again,
Glenda,
thank you so
take it
much,
away.
Paige. Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. And I feel so honored to speak today at XR Women. This group has been wonderful ever since I joined. I've enjoyed all the presentations that, have been given, over the months, that I've been a member here. And I just feel fortunate to be in the company of such great women. All this wisdom and knowledge in the room is just wonderful. So I just thank you for allowing me to share today, to speak on such an important topic, and especially, to women. When, as the page said, over the past 20 years, I've spent, my time in the technical field, finance field, as well as in film production, honing my craft, my experiences, and making an impact, on individuals, through teaching and just sharing of stories and sharing, through teaching classes and so forth. Well, as women, we tend to juggle many roles. Some of us are mothers, we're wives, we have our own careers, we have jobs, we have businesses, a whole myriad of different things. But sometimes, when it comes to finances, there's a lack in knowledge and confidence in that area. Sometimes people feel afraid of, okay, I don't want to know what the balance is, or I don't want to know this outcome, because finance is just, it can be scary, but you don't have to be. So hopefully during my presentation and at the end, you'll feel more comfortable and more confident, when dealing with your finances. And so again, as you said, I spent my last 20 years doing this, but before that, where my heart for it really started, I was married very young. I was in my early 20s, and then divorced, unfortunately. And at that time, my ex-husband, he basically took everything. So at that time of my divorce, I was left with absolutely nothing. And I always say a big goose egg. I had no money, no credit, absolutely nothing. So I was starting from ground zero. And so, of course, I cried. My emotions were all over the place and everything, and not really knowing anything even about finance or even the law, like what I could do. And part of me even kind of really depended on him to guide me, which he didn't, of course. But I did. I lost everything. But, I had to gather myself, right? While going through all those emotions and still angry and everything, I knew that, I had to pick myself up and I had to forge forward. And so, fortunately, I was working at the time. And I was actually, working in the Bahamas. I was a government subcontractor. And so I was living on a Navy base. So, thankfully, I didn't have to worry about paying for housing, paying for food, and all that because, that was part of, my contract. And so, but, I did have like 5 days. I had like a week before my next paycheck. And so I'm like waiting and waiting. And let me tell you, when I got that paycheck, you would have thought I had a piece of gold in my hands because it was like money, and it's my money. Okay. And from then on, I was like, okay, you're going to manage this. You're going to bounce back. Right. And so from that point on, I did, I'd start saving, educating myself, sharing my knowledge with others and just continue the education. I became a financial coach, started, getting education as far as, tax consulting and so forth, and became, tax preparer. So, it's been an ever evolving journey, one that I'm thankful for because it's made me who I am now and made me stronger. And I just want to just continually to empower others, to do the same thing. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. And actually, you can go to the next slide too, please. Thank you. Okay, so why financial literacy matters? Well, for my journey, it matters big, right? But let's talk about some numbers. 34% of women feel that they lack the financial knowledge to invest. Whether it's stocks or in any other thing, maybe they don't feel comfortable. Okay. 40% feel confidence in achieving their financial goals. Maybe it's due to the fact that maybe they feel that they're not earning enough, or they just have too many responsibilities, but they just don't feel confident that they're going to meet their financial goals. But then this is good that 88% they do feel good about, and they do feel comfortable about managing their day-to-day finances. That's excellent. But thing is that we've got to also think long term. There's retirement, there's things going on in our lives, life happens. Hey, life happened to me, so we always have to be thinking about the future. Okay. And this is not a political statement. This is not in favor of one party against the other, one person against the other. But one thing that I always encourage and I coach my clients is that it doesn't matter where you live, who is in office, what party, it does not, none of that matters. You can make sure that your financial life is in order. Okay? You can do it. You can set yourself up to where financially you're okay no matter what. Okay? And I'm just going to share some things that I do to make sure that I'm in that position. All right? So let's go to the next slide. Okay. And some more numbers, financial literacy. So, and this is pretty cool. So, and I found that in this year, they're expected to 2.72 million homes will be bought by single women. That's pretty cool. But then one thing we also have to realize with home ownership, there comes a lot more responsibility. When I bought my first home, you're thinking, okay, I don't want to rent. I want to be an owner. And that's great. I encourage everyone to be an owner. But you also have to remember with ownership, It doesn't just stop at paying your mortgage. You have property taxes, you have the monthly bills, the utilities, and so forth. And then what about the maintenance? Life happens. Okay, things happen. So you always have to put yourself in a position to be prepared for those and not be caught off guard, right? 20% of Gen Z individuals are saving for retirement in 2024. So Gen Z, that starts at around about 1997. So they're around like in their mid 20s, 25, 26, 27 years old. So, they're young. Of course, they're probably not even thinking about retirement. But the thing is that the earlier you start, the better, right? When you start earlier, then by the time you reach that 60 or 70 years old, I mean, you got millions saved, right? So the earlier, the better. And that's one thing, I try to teach my nieces and nephews, like, don't wait, don't take things for granted, thinking, oh, I have time because, oh, I look back on it like, wow, 20 years goes by really fast, right? And 41% in women's living standard, it declines post-divorce. Hey, it happened to me, post-divorce, my standard of living, like I said, fortunately, I was living on that Navy base, but what if I wasn't, if I had to maintain a household, a car payment, utilities, all of that, and then having no money, what would my life have looked like? I mean, it would have been devastating. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So financial security and freedom. So we want to be able to navigate our life experiences, right? All of the events. So you want to be able to confidently handle divorce. You want to be able to confidently handle what if you have a career shift, whether you get laid off, or maybe you're not getting the bonuses or raises that you were expecting. That happens as well too. Or, God forbid, if a case of widowhood, you always want to be prepared. And independence. You always want to be able to make those informed financial decisions. You don't want to leave it in the dark. Time and time again, we hear about, especially celebrities, right? They're making all of this money, right? And so they'll have an accountant or a business manager managing their money. And then all of a sudden they look at their bank account and what? My balance is what? Wait a minute. I've been making millions. Why is it that I only have a few $100s? And, that person has taken their money. You never want to leave that up to someone else to handle. Now, am I saying that you've got to be in the weeds every day, doing everything? No, you can hire an accountant, hire a business manager, but make sure you know what's going on at all times. Just like in the case of with my divorce, I wish I had known more about what was going on. Yes, marriage is great. Love is great. Get married. I'm hoping to get married again someday. But the thing is that you have to make sure that you know what's going on, and not that you're thinking, oh, what if he leaves me or if I get a divorce? No, but what if something happens? Accidents happen. If he, well, God forbid, if he were to be in an accident and then you have to take over the finances, you're already knowledgeable, you know where things are and you know what to do. Okay? Empowerment, taking control of personal and family finances. You want to be empowered. You want to feel confident that, hey, look, I can do this. Things are where they're supposed to be, and I know how to handle it. Okay? Next slide, please. Okay, engaging in financial conversations. Okay, so here, I'm going to talk more like on the coaching side. It's okay to get a coach. It's okay to consult, okay? A financial advisor. Okay, sometimes you need that guidance, someone whose specialty is in stocks, whose specialty is in insurance. It's great to consult, to get that information, okay? But have an open dialogue, Okay, be honest of where you are and where you want to be. Okay, and so that you can set some realistic expectation. Align your goals. Now you're going to have to make sure that those objectives you shared with them, like, okay, this is where I want to be at age here. So that, maybe you want to retire early, which would be a great thing, you know, but share that so you can make that, plot that roadmap. And regular check-ins. Always to check in with your advisor, check in with your coach. Tell them where you are, even if you make a mishap. Hey, sometimes we do. I mean, I know I've gone shopping, and this was like during my journey, and and I'm on track, and especially around Christmas time, right? You're buying gifts, and you're in that department store. You walk up to the register. Oh, well, with your purchase today, if you get a credit card, we'll give you 10 or 20% off. And I'm like, and at one time I was like, oh, really? Great. I had a boatload of credit cards, a lot of them, you know? And I was just, and then before I knew it, it was just like, I had enough. I could have created a fan, right? To keep myself cool. I had so many credit cards, right? And so then I found that, oh my gosh, okay, this has got to change. You can't do this because, you have credit card bills and everything. It's like, okay, you've gotten off track. I had to get myself back on track. I got rid of those credit cards that I didn't need, all the department store cards, okay? Because at that time, younger, at that time, I didn't have the control to manage it. I didn't. And until I learned to have that control, could I get them back? I didn't. So I was strong, I was brave, and I got rid of them, right? And so once I did that, then I just kept it down to I have, had my bank credit cards, and then I had like, one or two, one of my favorite department store cards, and that's it. Okay, until I, got the discipline back. But then having regular check-ins, like with my coach, right? Explains, okay, this is what I did, here's how I rectified it and everything. I even went down the route at one time of doing the debt consolidation. Okay. And then when that happened, I said, oh, wow, it was great to see zero balances all over the place. And then I just had that one. But lo and behold, I made a purchase and I put myself right back again. So that was another learning experience. Okay. It's like, okay, you cannot do that. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next slide, please. So with all of that, me, bumping my head and tripping and everything, learning, teaching myself, educating myself, going to classes and so forth. Okay, these are some of the things, I picked up budgeting, tracking my income expenses, and savings goals. So, I guess I don't know if this is OCD or just being anal or what it is, but I got to the point where I would basically balance my accounts to where it was zero. So basically my bank account, I would take it, I would look at it and make sure that every transaction was correct and everything balanced out. And if there was anything, if it was over, if I was losing a penny or dime or 10, whatever it was, I wrote to the bank. I went to the bank and said, hey, this is off. This is how much you owe me. Even if it was 10 cents, I did that because every bit counts. And I figured, I said, okay, look, I have to manage every penny that I have coming in. If I'm going to get my life right, if I'm going to really, I've got to do that. And then saving, got on top of my savings, started saving more actively. Every time I got paid, every time I made money, I took a portion of that and saved it. Credit management. Oh my goodness. Maintaining a credit score. Well, my credit score at one time, it was like 530, 540, just tanked, right? Well, now today, I'm a member of the 800 Club. Okay, so it's over 800 now. And so wasn't without work and trial and error and just learning and everything, but it took a lot of work. Okay, it took a lot of work, but I'm proud of myself. I stuck to it, and and I did that. And one thing, and I'm glad, I have my family. My brother and I, we're very competitive. So his score, he has like an 845, 850, right? still makes me sick. I'm not there yet, but we're very competitive. So I'm like, I'm gonna get there, you know. So having that kind of encouragement, competitive is not a bad thing. So, but you know, you can do it. It doesn't matter um how bad your situation is. Like I said, I was completely broke. Credit tank. I didn't have any. And now, you know, I can stand before you saying that I'm confident in my finances, you know, owning properties, you know, my credit score is in the 800s and I'm doing very, very, very well. So you can bounce back from a very dire and awful situation. Saving and investing, building emergency fund and retirement accounts. You know, I have my emergency funds and, you know, and I'm going to show you what my budgeting looks like just as an example. Financial planning, creating actionable steps for long-term goals. So I didn't like say, okay, this year I'm going to save $1 million. I wasn't earning $1 million. So do something that's actionable, that's, you know, that's reasonable, and start off bit by bit so that if you don't, you know, even start small so that if perhaps maybe you miss a goal, you won't feel as bad. But if you exceed it, then you're like, okay, hey, instead of saving $30 a month, I saved $50 a month, right? Okay, make sure it's something achievable. Okay, next slide, please. And next slide. Yeah, do that one. Next slide, please. Okay, and so this one is really, really important to me as well too. Including your partner in financial planning. I should have said partner and family, but making sure that both of you, and I do realize in some couples, some situations, maybe one person is stronger financially than the other as far as like knowledge. That's okay because you balance each other out, right? But the thing is that you can still know about what's going on, right? Like your husband, your wife may know, okay, this is how we're paying our bills, this is where all the money is, da 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 da. But you're also aware of that. Okay, they may be handling it, but you do have the knowledge of it. Always make sure of that. So you could, because the thing is you can set shared goals and make joint decisions for a stronger financial future. You have a family, you have kids, hey, you have college to pay for, private school to pay for, right? So you want to make sure that you're both knowledgeable about that and that, you know, you can make those decisions for your family. Tools. You can use budget apps and planners to track your finances and collaborate effectively. Okay, so I'm not going to recommend any apps or anything like that because honestly, I don't use them. Okay, even though I've been in technology for years, I don't trust everything technology. In technology, I don't feel comfortable sharing my bank account information with an app. But that's just me, and they're not bad. Find one that suits you, that fits your situation, that makes you feel comfortable. But just always read the terms and conditions and all that good stuff, right? But there are some good ones out there that helps you to manage your finances. Empowering both partners, ensure equal participation and voice in the financial planning process. Make sure you both have a voice. You both are making those joint decisions together. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next slide, please. Okay, so this is my budgeting system. So this is one that was shared with me by one of my mentors, a brilliant woman. She had formed a group called the Wealthy Women. We traveled all over the world. We went to China, Kirks and Caicos, everywhere, you know, just finding businesses and she taught us, you know, business dealings and negotiation and all that, right? And so this is one of the things she shared with us, a budgeting system. And this is what I use. And I find that to be more effective. And notice these percentages, they can vary, right? So whatever fits your situation, your family, you can adjust those. So like mine is at 35% of my income for the month goes toward living expenses, 30% investing, 10 wealthy or business. That means like all my business ventures, right? If I have an idea, so if I need money for a patent, then that's what that money's for, right? Okay. Donations. Always give 10% of my income to donations, whether it's your church, a charity. You know, that's always a good practice to have, is to give back, you know. 5% into savings and 5% to personal development. How many know you need personal development? You need to take classes. I just got one of my first of, and I'm working on a few other ones, AI consultant certifications. That's what they're paid for. I set aside 5% of my income every month to go into that account for my personal development. Whether it could be a class or something like that, but you have that money there. You don't have to, man, I don't have the funds for it, so I'm going to have to wait a few months. Maybe if you don't have all the money in there at the time, yes. But the thing is that account is always building. And then the fun account, 5%. So what is fun? That's trips and vacations, going out to dinner and doing different things like that, right? So then I don't have to okay, I want to go to Greece, or I want to go here, there. So I've got to wait 8 months and I'm just continually saving or something like that. That money is always there. And the thing is that you ask, okay, so what if you've put money in those accounts and it's gone before the end of the month? Well, that just means that as far as the fund account goes, well, I won't be able to go out to dinner until the next month, till some more money gets put in there or something like that. Okay. Now, like I said, anybody can adopt something like this. You can change the percentages. You may be at 50% as far as living expenses is concerned. You can adjust those percentages to meet your lifestyle, just as long as that they all equal 100. Okay. And you can even remove one of them. You can say, well, I don't need personal development, just say you can take that 5% and put it somewhere else. And then you say, well, do I manually transfer money? No, I have my accounts on auto transfer. So they automatically transfer to those different accounts. And then I'm just in a state of just monitoring. Okay. And then I also have one good practice too, is to put alerts on your account. So if a certain dollar amount is spent, maybe you can say if it's over 500, over 100, whatever it is you feel comfortable with, that you're alerted. You can get text messages, when it's so, and then this is good for identity theft. So we know that that's running rapid, right? So if perhaps your identity gets compromised, your accounts get hacked, and they get your card number and someone spends, you'll get that alert. Then you can immediately call your credit card company and get it rectified. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide, please. Okay, some call to actions. Set a small goal. Like today, set up just a small one. Okay, create a budget, or start saving a small percentage of your income. Just whatever it is, set a small goal for yourself. Educate the next. One of the things that I do as well, and I'm partnering with one of the local schools here where I am now, is teaching the kids financial literacy. We don't want them to be always in a state of, whenever they need something, it's handout, because they want, okay, mom, dad, okay, I need this. Well, where's the money? We want them to be financially literate as well, right? To know that, okay, yes, you can have this. And we're not saying that, okay, you have to live a life that, where you just, maybe you can't buy anything, because, I always tell my clients is that everyone deserves a great life, to have nice things, and you can have nice things. The thing is that I always say, don't let those nice things have you, meaning you have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to maintain all of that stuff that you desire, right? You can have it, but you just have to be educated and more smart about it. Like one thing that I do is I charge everything on one particular credit card. My utilities go on that credit card, everything, right? What I'm doing is that I'm racking up reward points, right? Those reward points, especially during the pandemic, because we weren't going anywhere, I mean, they really, really increased, but then I can take those points. So when I travel, I can use those points to buy tickets, rent cars. So basically, it's almost really nothing out of pocket. Take control, use your new knowledge to empower yourself and future generations. Again, teaching each other, teach your families. And like I said, especially the kids, we don't want them to grow up thinking that, oh, okay, my bank is mom and dad. No, let them know, hey, show them the bank statement. Let them know, okay, look, these are our utilities. That water you use every day is not free. That electricity, it's not free, Let them know that this is how. And even I even like my little nephew, he's like 5. He likes these toys. They're called gugechus. It's some like a stretchy toy, and but he has like almost 50 of them. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I told her, so well, maybe you should think about put him on he's 6, put him on a budget, tell him you have X amount of money per month to spend on them, because every time they go to the store, he wants one. I said, then once that's gone, teach him, educate him. Okay, well, then you'll have to wait till next month, and then you can get some more, right? So you can do different things like that. And your kids, hey, put them, they'll be okay. They're not going to die. They'll be okay. Put them on a budget, teach them early so that when they become adults, it's not such a shell shock like, oh, they get an apartment and they've got these utility bills like, oh, where did this come from? Yeah, you got to pay for this like every month, So educate. Next slide, and that should be the last one, I think. Yeah, and that is the end. Yeah, so hopefully, I've empowered you, educated you, and hope you've gathered something from that. Like I said, throughout my life, I have all the things I've learned from the different people who have mentored me and educated me and so forth. And so I'm just always so glad to share what I've learned with others. So thank you again. Thank you. You're on mute.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, G-Deuce. I'm always learning from you. And really, I'll just share a personal story. When I connected a year ago with G-Deuce, I was financially having challenges. I was surfing in between jobs. Nothing was quite connecting. And I needed, like, my kid's situation also needed my support because of like his own personal and financial emergencies. So working with G-Deuce has been so helpful for me. I still do so many of the things that I learned from you. And one thing that I always like to carry, these are your words, if you don't manage your money, your money is going to manage you. And this year I feel like I'm managing my money.
Awesome.
So
Yes.
yeah, definitely. And plus I really love I don't like getting my taxes done. I always went to like somewhere and sat there while some man was doing it, and I had like no agency, no control, no idea of what I was doing, but I like getting my taxes done now because I feel like I'm more in control, and I'm doing it with you in the metaverse. I mean, I don't know about you, but if you add any task that I don't really love doing, but now do it in the metaverse, I'm down for it.
Yes. That's awesome.
So,
amazing.
yes. Well, you're amazing. And thank you so much
Thank
for
you, Paige.
sharing so many practical tips. When we're thriving in 2025, like financially thriving is a major part of that. And so let's go forward this year and control our money. We're
Yes.
managing, we're not being managed.
Yes.
Love that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Oh, great.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much for
Yeah.
that, Juju. That was really, really great, and things that we all
Come,
need to hear. I'll stand up. It's Karen. So
you just
my
want to come
question
back
is,
up on the stage?
Oh,
Okay, come on back
okay.
up.
okay.
Okay.
My question is about finding financial advisors, and maybe for if you could pick just a few sort of situations that one might be in, and like the type of advisor to look for or where to find them. Kind of, how do
Mhm.
we sort of navigate that process depending on what our situation is?
Yes. So there's a lot of different financial coaches, that are available, different organizations, pros and cons, here and there. You have like organizations like was it Edward Jones and Primerica and so forth. But then you have like, I'm not associated with them, but you have others like me, who are, out there in the industry talking to your family and your friends, okay? Because you want to get a good recommendation, first of all, right? You want someone that, if that person, just say, your girlfriend, your best friends, your cousin, whatever, they've been going to them for years, evidently there's something there for them to continue that relationship. So, talk to them, find out who their financial coach, their financial advisors are. Okay. And then if you're members of organizations like, great organizations like the XR Women, your local chamber of commerce, right? You can also find, your financial advisors and coaches there as well too.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Glenda, this has been really, really helpful. And I just want to say that your suggestion to tag all of our outgoing finances, I haven't done that with my bank account. And I just wrote that down. I was like, of course I should be doing that. So thank you for that. I also want to ask, I was just thinking about what you just said in response to Karen.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd said, find someone who's kind of going through what a coach who's maybe gone through what you're going through, and that would be a good fit. So I can connect with you in the sense that I was a college professor for 20 years, and then I quit that job. So now I'm in my 50s and I'm starting over. Can you recommend coaches specifically for women that are in their 50s, so they're now no longer viable, right? Because we've all learned that, right? And maybe coaches that work with that particular demographic that you could recommend?
I honestly I can't recommend coaches. I mean, I'm a coach myself, but I tend not to, but no, I mean honestly I can't. But
Oh,
just to kind of well, no, but kind of like a little correction. I didn't say find a coach that's been through some of the same things you've been to. I said contact or talk to a family member that has a coach and talk to them about, okay, if they've been with someone for, a while, then,
got it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But if you like, if you need a financial coach, okay, what I can do is, I can reach out to some people. I'd rather do it that way and find out one, if they're still taking clients, first of all, and then, we can go that route.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, I have a question. Hi, I'm
Sure,
Deirdre.
sure.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Hi,
Well,
Deirdre.
just a quick follow up to Sarah. Are you taking clients currently or no?
Yeah, I am. Like I say, you can contact me, and I'm surprised I didn't put like my website on there either.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, but my website is Barab Financial Service, and the business name's not up there either. But it's barabfinancialservices.com is my website, so you can go out there and make an appointment with me, and yeah, we can just have an initial conversation of where you are, what your goals are, where you want to be, what it is you want to do, what your plans are. And yeah, we can move from there.
Wonderful. Thank you. That was more of a follow up. The question I actually have is a little bit broader. I'm kind of freaking out a bit over here in America with this, the talk of the crypto Bitcoin reserve, the talk of, the removal of the Inspector General from the FDIC, meaning all of our bank deposits are now no longer safe. or at least there's nobody oversighting that? And do we know if it's safe and if they're going to shut that agency down? The talk of a sovereign wealth fund, which I think is crazy and weird. And so I'm feeling like the stock market isn't safe. The banks aren't safe. Cryptocurrency certainly isn't safe. So do I invest in gold or silver or overseas? Like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah,
Do you have any thoughts?
That's one thing I'm working on right now because of the state, and that's why I kind of made the statement I did at the beginning, not being political or anything like that, but just making sure you're okay regardless of what's going on, regardless of what is who's in office or whatever. One thing that I'm, looking into now is, even forming a trust, maybe putting possessions and so forth in a trust so that it's protected, so that it's not owned by me, but I control it. Goes back to that thing of own nothing and control everything, right? And so, but then I even had the thoughts of even, hey, offshore accounts, doing different things. So I'm researching currently and looking at a whole plan of action to protect myself, and then to also share this information when I find it out, how to make sure that what I've worked so hard for is secure.
Exactly, because I mean, I'm great, I'm fine now, but like if the banks fail, if they crash the stock market because of cryptocurrency and then do a smash and grab there, like my head's spinning. I don't even know. I mean, I certainly can follow all of the sort of like general ideas of where to put your money, where it used to be considered a safe investment, and to diversify that. But it seems like all of the diversification currently is even for the average person doing everything right is no longer safe. So let me know what you find out, because I'd be interested.
I definitely will. I definitely will. As I find things out, I will definitely share it. But the one thing I just want to encourage you to is that don't get fearful, okay? Because fearful sometimes causes you to make bad decisions or wrong decisions, and so just remain calm. Things are going to be okay, just so that, but just continually educate yourself, read, research, and when you feel comfortable, when you feel you need to act, then act, but don't do it out of fear, because then sometimes, like, all this fear mongering, oh, this is crash or this is going on, and then you say, okay, I've got to hurry up and go get everything out, when maybe you shouldn't, or maybe you need to pause and maybe just shift it here. So just remember, just stay calm, but always just listen to what's going on, and just making sure you're just always educating yourself. And maybe this is one of those times when even like forming these groups, like I know that there's other people like forming crypto groups that educate each other, and other financially based groups to keep each other informed about what's going on, and maybe some plan of actions and so forth, and surrounding yourself with those empowering and like-minded people as well too. Okay, because during this time we've got to keep each other lifted up. We've got to keep each other, and not just even now, but just at any time, right? We got to keep each other lifted up. We got to keep each other encouraged, okay, so that we're all can be on that right footing. We can always feel comfortable in our finances, and make the right decisions that we need to.
Yeah, thank you for that. I had a friend during the 2008 crash who had been advised to put their money into something safe, which was mortgages at the time. I don't know why they didn't tell her to put it in a money market, but she was going with the financial advisor that she had. And then when all the mortgages started to drop, they told her, you better take it out before it's gone. She lost $400,000, and she's an older woman. And now she lives, in a very small single place, on Social Security, when she had all of that savings, from her entire lifetime, basically stolen. It's heartbreaking,
Yeah. But with that though, one thing that I always practice: never put all your eggs in one basket. And I especially learned that last year. I don't know how many people are familiar with the alt space platform. When that shut down, many people had their businesses and their lives over there. When it shut down, it was like gone. It was like they didn't know what to do. Like, where am I going to go? What happens? And that just rang true. I said, never put all your eggs in one basket. That's why right now, I operate and I go between different platforms here. Don't put all your investments in one place. Make sure that you diversify. So if something crashes here, then you still have this over here. And that's just like in business, have different multiple revenue streams, right? Because stuff happens, today this is hot, and then tomorrow maybe it's not so, but guess what? You've got 2 or 3 other revenue streams coming in, and you're good, right? And you
Thank you.
you can ride those waves. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other
I want to
questions or comments?
thank everybody for coming. We're at the top of the hour now, and normally we close down the event, but I want to just thank Glenda so much and say that I'll remain here for about 5 more minutes, which will keep the room open if anyone has more questions or wants to learn more. And in 5 minutes, I'll close the world.
Thank you so much, Paige, and thank you, G. Deuce.
You're
Really
welcome.
great
You're
stuff.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.